Okay, we're going to be solving quadratics by factoring. So let's start the process. Let's find, so we can find the right factors for 6x squared minus 4x minus 2. Now I want to factor that into two binomials. Okay, and let's see here. 6x squared, we say that used to be a 3x times 2x, so we'll put those first, 3x times 2x. And for the 2, there's two choices for that. It's either 1 times a 2 or 2 times a 1. I don't know which one it is. Let's try 2 times 1 first and see if that works. 2 times 1. So 2x times 2x, 2 times 2x, which is 4x, and then 3x times 1, which is 3x. And this tells us that we need different signs for these two right here. I'm trying to get a negative 4x. So if I use different signs, I get a negative 1x, and that doesn't match. So let's try another combination on the 6x minus 4x minus 2. Let's try factoring this into, again, 3x times 2x. But instead of the 2 times 1, let's try 1 times 2. And so we'll get in the middle 2x, because 1 times 2x is 2x, and 3x times 2 gives us 6x. And again, we need different signs. Let's try positive here and negative here, and different signs subtract, and the bigger sign wins, so we get negative 4x, and that's what we need. Okay, so this is the right combination. So I'll put the plus first, and then a minus here. Okay, so let's use this here, so since we found the right combination. So this factors into two binomials, equals 0. We know this is going to be a 3x times a 2x, and we're going to be 1 times 2, which gives us 2x, and this will give us 6x. Different signs will get negative and plus, and it gives us negative 4x. All right, so that'll be a positive first and then a negative. Okay, now that we have the right two binomials, and these are both linears, you can take each linear factor, let's say 3x plus 1, and set it equal to 0, and you can solve that for a solution. You can take the other linear factor, the 2x minus 2, set that equal to 0, and you can solve that for x and get another solution. So let's start here. I want to subtract 1 from both sides, and we'll get a 3x equals negative 1. Then we're going to divide both sides by 3. The 3's cancel, and we get an x. Negative 1 over 3 does not simplify, so it remains a fraction, negative 1/3. Now over here, I'm going to add 2 to both sides, and we're going to get 2x equals 2. Then I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. This cancels and gives us x. But 2 over 2 does simplify. We can say 2 divided by 2, which is 1, and we're done. Okay. Next, let's see if we can solve this quadratic x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, let's take a look at that. X squared plus 5x plus 6. Let's see if we can factor that. X squared can factor into x times x. Now 6 has lots of choices. You got 1 times 6, you got 2 times 3, you got 3 times 2, and you got 6 times 1. Lots of choices there. I'm going to start off with 1 times 6. So 1 times 6. This will give us 1x, and this will give us 6x. The signs have to be the same, so let's use positive and positive. Same signs add, I get 7x. Bigger sign wins. That's obviously not it, because we need a 5x. So let's change directions. X times x again, but instead of using the 1 times 6, let's use the 2 times 3. 2 times 3, so we'll get a 2x here, and we'll get a 3x there. Same signs, we'll use positive, and they add up to 5x. And so positive first and positive second. Positive here and positive here. So we got it. So this is the combination that we need. So let's factor that, set it equal to 0. And we get x times x. And this will be plus 2 plus 3. And now that we have our factors, we go from one quadratic to two linears, and we can solve both linears for 0. So x plus 2 equals 0, and then x plus 3 equals 0. And I'll solve this one first. So minus 2 minus 2, we'll get x equals negative 2. And that's one of the solutions for the quadratic. Let's solve this one. Minus 3, and we'll get x equals minus 3. And minus 3 or negative 3 is the second solution for this. Okay, finally let's go down to number 6. On number 6, we have an x squared minus 9x plus 8. We have that factor. So let's say x times x for x squared. 8, we have lots of choices. 1 times 8, 2 times 4, 4 times 2, and 8 times 1. Lots of choices. Let's start off with 1 times 8. Let's start with that. 1 times 8. So we'll get 1x and we'll get 8x. And we need same signs, but we need a negative 9x. So I'm going to use same signs of negative and negative, because same signs will add. And you'll get a negative 9x because the bigger sign wins. So we found it. So a negative here and a negative here. So this factors into two binomials equal to 0, x minus 1 and x minus 8. Okay, so now we have our two factors set equal to 0. And they're x minus 1 set equal to 0, and x minus 8 set equal to 0. And then we'll solve for x. I'll add 1 to both sides here, and I'll get one of the solutions. X is 1. And I'll add 8 to both sides here. X is 8. And I want to do something a little unique. I'm going to demonstrate this one really does solve this quadratic. If you look here, you have an x squared minus 9 times x plus 8 equals 0. Well, if x is 1, this is actually a 1 squared, and a 9 times 1 plus 8 equals 0. Well, 1 times 1 is still 1. Negative 9 times positive 1 is negative 9 plus 8 equals 0. And then when you add the 1 and the 8, you'll get 9 take away 9 equals 0. 9 take away 9 equals 0. And 1 does solve this, and so will 8. Let's do this once again. Start with the quadratic x squared minus 9x plus 8 equals 0. And we want x to be 8. So this is 8 to the second power minus 9 times 8 plus 8 equals 0. 8 times 8 is 64. Negative 9 times 8 is negative 72. And then plus 8 equals 0. You could add the 64 and the 8, and you're going to get a positive 72 with the negative 72, and these two are going to make 0, and 8. Putting 8 here does make all of this equal 0.